conference. Today we're excited to introduce our mayor for a day, as well as showcase apprenticeship opportunities available through the building trades. Thank you, and now I'll turn it over to the mayor.
Thank you, Renee. Good morning, everyone, and thanks everyone for being here. Really appreciate it. In honor of Black History Month, each Thursday in February, we will be welcoming a young African-American student from Erie's Public Schools to join us as mayor for the day. The students were selected based on improvements in their ABCs. What ABC stands for is attendance, behavior, and classroom performance. The Erie School District calls this the Stair Climber Award. Students who win this award will also be recognized at the Erie School District's monthly board meeting. So at this time, I'd like to ask today's mayor for the day, Joshua Stepp Jr., to come up here and join me. Josh is in 6th grade at East Middle School. Josh has demonstrated positive behavior and works hard every day to succeed. Josh, thanks for being here. Thank you. His day began today with Fire Chief Guy Santone, who's here also. There he is. Yep. And they met at the East Middle School, and Guy brought him to City Hall in the fire chief's SUV. Was that a good ride? Mm-hmm. Yes. After arriving at City Hall, he received a city lanyard and name badge and toured parts of City Hall. He also got 2 new pens, right? After our weekly press conference, the rest of Josh's day will include lunch with my team, a tour of the firehouse and a ride in a fire truck, a tour of Erie Police Station, and a ride in a police cruiser. Joshua will also receive one of my pens, which I actually already has, and I already talked about that. So I'm going to I'm going to read a proclamation which proclaims Joshua Stepp Jr. as mayor for a day of the city of Erie. Whereas Joshua Stepp Jr. is a student at East Middle School and was chosen to be mayor of the city of Erie for the day of Thursday, February 14th, 2019. Whereas Joshua Stepp Jr. was selected to be mayor for the day because he demonstrates positive behavior and works hard every day to succeed. Whereas Joshua Stepp Jr. participates in the Mayor for the Day program in celebration of Black History Month during the month of February. Whereas Joshua Stepp Jr. will attend the Mayor's weekly news conference, as you can see, shares thoughts about Erie's future, tour City Hall, tour the police station and ride in a police cruiser, tour the firehouses and ride in a fire truck, and have lunch with the mayor and his staff. Whereas Joshua Stepp Jr. will write a student reflection about his experiences as mayor for the day and share it with the Erie School Board at their March meeting. Now, therefore, on this 14th day of February 2019, I, Joseph V. Schember, Mayor of Erie, proudly hereby recognize Joshua Stepp Jr. as the Mayor of the City of Erie for the day. I commend him for his success so far and encourage him to make a positive difference wherever he goes. Josh, you are the future of Erie. Thanks very much. I also just want to remind everyone very briefly that as part of Black History Month, Andy Steinmetz, who is our social media coordinator, and our intern Courtney have been posting facts on the city's social media every day celebrating local African Americans. And people are really surprised by the things they're reading here. And Andy's telling me he's getting like hundreds of hits a day, encouraged by that. So I'd also like to welcome Representative Bob Murski and thank him for being here with us today. Bob, thank you very much. If you want to learn more about the legacy of African Americans in Erie, you can do it through Facebook at #ErieBlackHistory. Now let's get to today's focus of today's press conference. As you know, my team and I were on a mission to build opportunity and to create an Erie where we celebrate an abundance of good family-sustaining jobs. Today we want to shine the spotlight on the great apprenticeship opportunities that exist right here in Erie, especially for young men and women who want to have a good family-sustaining job right out of high school. Today's press conference is taking place at the Plumbers Union Training Facility, which is at 8150 Hawthorne Drive, Summit Township. That's right, I said Summit Township. I am a regional thinker. We're proud to be here. This facility was strategically located near I-79 and I-90 to serve residents of the city, the county, and in fact, the entire region. We're lucky to have it right here in Erie County. So now I'd like to turn the program over to TJ Sandell, President of the Great Lakes Building and Construction Trades Council and business agent for the Plumbers Local 27. TJ will provide information regarding the apprenticeship opportunities and hopefully get people interested. TJ?
Thank you, Jeff. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank you all for being here and to appreciate this whole thing with the mayor's putting on for us here. And of course, to have it in our facility it says a lot to me. It means a lot to me that the mayor would think so much of these programs to be here this morning. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about apprenticeship programs. A lot of people hear about apprenticeship programs and they just don't know what it means. And I guess to simplify it the easiest way, it's a scholarship program where you earn as you learn. That's the simplest way I can condense it down. It's a very complicated program, but that's the simplest explanation. How apprenticeships work, again, like I said, it's a scholarship program. These programs are self-funded by the specific organization that has them, such as the IBEW or my organization, the Plumbers. These are self-funded programs that are paid for by the membership, and it's at no expense to the taxpayer. Coincidentally, these programs, these apprenticeship programs, are also at no out-of-pocket expense for apprentices. So apprentices who receive this scholarship, they are provided a job during the day and go to school at night, and it's at no out-of-pocket expense to the student. So essentially, when they complete these programs, they're debt-free, unlike going to college where you get student loans and you have to pay these back. These young men and women that go through these programs are debt-free when they leave. So that's a great benefit. I want to talk a little bit about the jobs. You know, there's a lot of different trades that have apprenticeship programs. Of course, I mentioned the IBEW. Jim Newber's here from the IBEW. There's the steam fitters. They do and pertain to HVAC, the roofers. There's a lot of different opportunities out there, and you know, interests are different between different people, of course. So someone might be interested in electrical, or someone might be interested in roofing. So we're trying to get the message out to young people, and we get out to high schools, we get out to VOTEC, out to different community leaders. It's very important to us. One of our biggest missions right now is to bolster a diversified workforce. So we've been, as a building trades as whole, been working very hard with community leaders, and we've got a lot of support from the mayor. It's been excellent to work with him to bolster a diversified workforce. I'm going to talk a little bit more specific details about the program. Most apprenticeship programs are either a 5 or 4 year program. These programs, they start out as a first-year apprentice. Like I said, you're provided a job, and you start out with a living wage and benefits, health care, retirement. I'm going to talk a little bit about the requirements of the program. I'm going to talk about my program specifically because I can't speak for everyone's program because the details are a little bit different. But my apprenticeship program right now for the Plumbers Local, our applications are starting February 25th. We take yearly applications. It's February 25th through March 9th. The requirements for our program is a high school diploma or GED, a valid driver's license. You must be a U.S. citizen, and we need a copy of your high school transcripts. If you want more information, you can visit our website at www.ua27.org. There's different programs out there, like I mentioned before. If you want more information about those programs, you can give me a call, or the building trades, at 814-455-1731. I'd be happy to speak with anyone about different opportunities, and I can point you in the right direction to any point of interest with any trade you'd be interested in. Like I said, we're glad to have you all here today. We're really looking forward to building and bolstering apprenticeship programs. We want to work with the community to provide jobs that pay a living wage and keep young people here. I had a young person tell me recently, and it breaks my heart to hear this, that a school counselor told him he has to go to college and then leave Erie because there's no opportunities here for him. And I think that's just, it breaks my heart to hear that, because there are opportunities here, and we need to get out there and get this message sent to the community. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for being here this morning. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our next guest. He's the director of the Mechanical Contractors Association for the region. Reg Klaus, if you could join me up here, please.
Thank you, TJ.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Reg is going to speak a little bit about, from a contractor's aspect, about the benefits of apprenticeship program. So
Right.
thanks, Reg.
I can speak generally for all the trades, really, even though I'm the director of the mechanical contractors out of Pittsburgh for Local 27, Local 449. But this schools and schools like this, the electrical schools, the roofing schools, the sheet metal schools, these are our lifeline. These are where we get our people. They're trained 4 or 5 years, like TJ said. This is where we get our workforce. These gentlemen come out with medical gas, backflow prevention, weld certifications, anything you need at all the major hospitals that are going in right now. You got a big project over at St. Vincent's. You got a big project down at Hammond Hospital. Of course, Erie Insurance is going along right now with our contractors. And this is where we get the people, right out of the school. We're very fortunate this school was jointly owned by Local 27 and 449. And through a consolidation approximately 4.5, 5 years ago, Local 449 moved their school down to Harmony, PA, so they'd be centrally located off of Route 79 between Erie and Pittsburgh for their education. And the plumbers stepped up to the plate, and they bought this whole complex right here. So now we have in-house here trained plumbing instructors and certifications that we need to keep this going. Rather than a diluted, it was a combination school, and now we have split it apart so we get better training and better education in the specific fields that we need. A lot of stuff is going on in Erie right now. I can honestly say it was slow there for a while when the consolidated happened. But again, this school, and I'm sure the electrical school the same way, the roofers and all the building trades. It's a joint effort, all the building trades, like TJ said. This is an apprenticeship program, just not ours. Local 449 and 27 put in money. All the trades put in the money in their training facilities. So all it's other to do is like to thank everybody for coming out. Congratulations, my man. You get a big day today, don't you? So enjoy that day and become a plumber, okay? Local 27, all right? Again, thanks for your time, and I'm really glad to see Erie is really turning around all the construction that's happening here. I even believe LECOM might have some stuff happening in the immediate future, too. So things are really rolling up here, which is great, and it's great for the economy. And again, like TJ said, let's keep the kids in Erie. Let's keep the kids in Pittsburgh. Let's get them into trades where they don't have that big college tuition, $100,000, $200,000. They hit the street making 29 bucks an hour with medical benefits. So let's keep it rolling, okay? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Reg. Our next guest, our next speaker I'm going to introduce is Del Dosh. He's a business development manager at William T. Spader Company, a very large employer in our area. So next, Del, if you'll join me up here, please.
Good morning. You caught me a little bit off guard. I didn't know I was supposed to speak, but that's all right. I'm accustomed to that. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Reg, TJ. As they indicated, the atmosphere and environment in construction is exciting. I spent almost 30 years in construction. I'm very proud of construction. It's a tangible attribute that people can see accomplishments. And, you know, we being in the Erie area for over 104 years, we have over a dozen apprentices that are coming through our program. What's exciting is not just the field work, because that's changing. There's more prefabrication, pre-assembly. But then these experienced people come into our office and help in positions of estimating, project management. So there's a lot of opportunities. And I think it's an exciting time, as Reg indicated, a lot of healthcare work, a lot of work in Erie. And I think the main thing today is have compassion with what you're doing and have passion with what you want to do. And I think that's that's the key in the future of our construction industry. And I'm very proud to be part of the Spader family, and we're going to continue that tradition in Erie for many, many years. Thank you.
Thanks, Del. We appreciate your words. Next up, I'd like to bring one of my apprentices on to speak and account for his opportunity with Plumbers Local 27. This next speaker is Charles Williams. He's an apprentice with my program, and he'd like to say a few words about this opportunity. So, Charles.
Hey, how you doing? This program is a real good program. I came in with really no type of skills or nothing, and you know they built me up. I barely could read a tape measure. And, I mean, you know, now, you know, the sky's the limit. You know, I'm doing welding, so I have my welding cert before I graduate. I got my OSHA, you know, safety. Right now I'm a third-year apprentice. I'm doing my code, so you know I don't go in and put the wrong things in. Everything is done the right way. At the end of the school year, when I'm done, I don't owe any money. You know, it's a real good program. I'm a little nervous. You know, I backslided a little bit. They get me right back up to par where I need to be, you know, every time. You know, I told other guys about it. You know, we got another guy in that's a minority, and I'm gonna continue to do that. But this is a good program. You know what I mean? We brothers. You know, we hang out together sometimes. You know, we don't agree with everything, but for the most part, we have respect for everybody and other locals as well. You know what I mean? And I'm just happy to be a part of it, you know, because college wasn't for me. And so, you know, for people who don't like college, this is a good opportunity. And they're right there with you. They're not just giving you some books and telling you, go ahead, jump in, you know, they right there taking the steps with you, you know, and making sure you get through. And I'm just thankful to be here and, you know, had this opportunity to be a part of it. Then I got sons as well that, you know, I can pass something on to them as well, you know. And, you know, thank you for having me. God bless.
Well, that was a great and interesting story. I was glad Charles could make it today. I have one final comment, and then I'm going to turn it over to the mayor. It's really important for us right now building relationships, and we're working very hard to do it. And we have a lot of great relationships with a lot of organizations. So I'm hoping this information is effective, and I'm hoping it's going to reach the public so that they can push young people for opportunities here. You know, as we face times with low jobs that are available that pay a living wage, I hope that this information and education gets out to the public and they're able to benefit from this all. So at that, I'm going to turn this back over to the mayor. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Before I talk a little bit more, I didn't tell him I was going to do this, but Representative Mirsky, would you like to make any comments on what we're doing here today?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. I just came up to support TJ Sandell and the plumbers on workforce development. This is one of the governor's signature initiatives for this year is workforce development. And so I wanted to show my support. Welcome everybody to Summit Township. It is part of the 2nd Legislative District. And as we move forward, I think that as a former teacher, I know we learn by looking, we learn by listening, but the best way to learn is to learn by doing. And so the work that the apprenticeship program offers in all of our building trades is a path forward for our citizens to get high-paying jobs in this community, and I think that that's something we should all celebrate and support. So thank you, Mayor, for putting a spotlight on that today. Thank you.
You know, thank you very much, Bob. Appreciate those comments. And, you the opportunity to get a good family-sustaining job right out of high school is very important. Now, I was kind of a nerd, so I went to college and went through that whole path. But one of the things that we want to do, let me go back just a second. I'll get to that in a minute. The important thing here is that we learned you don't have to go to college to get a good family-sustaining job. And as our speaker said, you don't need to acquire a couple $100,000 in debt to get a good family-sustaining job. You can come to any of the trade unions that you're interested in and learn, work during the day in a good job. At night, get free education to get better at what you're doing and become a master plumber or whatever the next steps are. So this was a great spotlight. I had a chance to tour the facility. I was up here a couple months ago. Those of you that haven't seen it yet are going to be very impressed when you see the training that's available here and the technology. Before we end up, we have the People's Supper process going on that Michael Outlaw has put together and is leading. And I want to just talk a little bit about that. The People's Supper, we put together 4 groups, different groups from Erie. There's a group of African Americans. There's about 20 in each group. So there's a group of African Americans, a group of New Americans, a group of Hispanic and Latino Americans, and a group of White Americans. And the goal of this process is to eliminate racism and prejudice in Erie so that every individual is accepted for who they are, because I believe our diversity is one of our greatest strengths. And with every individual accepted and able to contribute, I think we can do so much more. So this process is a 6-month process that Michael spent about 9 months last year planning with the People's Supper Group, which is a national organization. We have bridging suppers, and the first thing we did was a bridging supper where all 80 were together and they were at tables, and everything is done over a meal. It's a conversation over a meal. And so we had diverse groups at all the tables at the first bridging supper, and now we're doing 4 affinity suppers. At each of these, we will have, for instance, all the African Americans just had their affinity supper last Thursday. I want to talk a little bit about that. Coming up this week is which one is it this week, Michael? Help me with Hispanic, Latino and Hispanic community. We'll have the New American community together in a couple weeks. In a couple weeks, it'll be the White American community. And then we'll go back to bridging suppers where everyone is together. So in their small groups, what they're trying to do is decide what can we do to make Erie a more welcoming community for everyone, and what actions do we need to take to make that happen. We're looking forward to 2 more bridging suppers then where everyone will be together and we'll be talking about, hopefully we'll be coming out with some concrete actions we can take. And then after the last bridging supper, there'll be a celebration supper where it won't only be the 80 that have been going through the process, but we'll hopefully have a couple hundred more people part of that. We'll continue to take input and hopefully develop a good and better process as we go forward. So before I conclude, I do want to thank TJ, Reed, Dell, and Charles. Is Charles still out there? Thank you very much. Good to see you again. I didn't get to shake your hand. Thank you. We had met a couple months ago as well. So thank you very much. This was a great session. I look forward to great coverage in the media, and wait till you see this training facility and what's available for people. Thanks very much, especially to Joshua. Thanks to everyone for being here today. Thank you very much.